I'm blessed. To see another day is the stress that's killing me, my mind a mess. That's why I take my time when I rhyme. Articulate my thoughts, load them in a semi, then I blow your mind.
Hey y'all, my name is Gebriel.
And I'm Helen Gugsa.
And today we're going to talk to y'all about hair in the Black community, specifically within Black women. So we finna snatch y'all edges.
In the wise words of India Ari, I am not my hair.
I am not this skin.
I am the soul that lives within. Okay, so up next we're going to be talking to you all about our personal experience with natural hair. Luna, what was it like for you before you went natural?
So it was like when we were back home, since, you know, I'm originally from Eritrea. And when we were back home, it was like I had my natural hair, and we came to the United States when I was like 9. So it was like, for you as a kid to have natural hair, I felt like that was totally okay. And then I started to hit like my preteen, so I was about 11, 12 years old when I first got my first perm. And after that, it just kind of, it was like a routine. Like every 8 weeks, you had a new perm. You had to make sure your hair was kind of kept, right? Like this whole idea that like your hair is out of control when it's in its natural state.
Right.
And so like I remember throughout high school, like my sophomore year in high school, I ended up like trying to go natural. Like I was like, oh, maybe like my natural hair is like different. Like, you know, let me love on it. And like my roots got like super nappy, like because it was like changing. And I was like, oh my God. And I felt so insecure about it. And I would get constant comments, you know, whether it's at home, at school, like, girl, go put perm on that hair. Like you need to relax, you need to straighten it, something, you know?
Right.
And I was just like, okay. So then I kind of went with the flow, and I just kept putting perm on it over and over again, and it just got damaged, and you could see that I was like losing more and more hair as time went on. And there's always this constant feeling that if my hair is not straight, if my hair is not put together somehow, like if it's like out of control, if it's frizzy and all that was bad hair, right? This idea of like good hair and bad hair. And you would constantly see, like, even within our own community, like with the Black men that I like went to high school with, or like even like middle school with, what they were very like, they loved like curly, like, you know, like light skinned woman hair. That's what they would call it, right? And it's like if you didn't have that, then like you didn't have good natural hair,
Right.
So then it was like this constant battle between like, so it's not just like within whiteness or anything like that, right? Like this ideology that's put on us by not only colonization but white supremacy, that it's the ideal white beauty standard. So if your hair is not straight, if your hair is not this way, then it's not good. So I internalized all that.
Right.
And so it was constantly like a battle between like myself, between members of my community. It was a constant battle. Like it's tiring.
It's tough.
Your girl was burnt out, like for real. So that was me. So what was your experience like?
My experience was more later on in life, because I actually grew up in Seattle, Washington, and I feel like the city was more diverse, and the neighborhood that I grew up in was really diverse and more accepting into like you embracing your naturalness and like who you are. So for me, it wasn't until my freshman year of high school when I actually moved to Minnesota, and I moved to a smaller town. I would say predominantly white. You know, there were people of color at my school, but not as much as what I was used to. And my first day, like, you know, I'm still a new student, you know, still trying to find my way in a new state, in a new town, in a new environment. And I remember wearing my hair out naturally like this, and being told that I looked crazy. And I like completely like just shut down. Like, and I went through this phase throughout high school. And I mean, for 4 years, I was either constantly straightening my hair to fit in to like what I was around. And so that I wouldn't be labeled as crazy. And if I did wear my hair naturally, it was constantly like slicked back with gel. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was contained. Like it wasn't to look crazy or frizzy, kind of like what you talked about earlier. And so I kind of, you know, like you, battled with myself and with society and my peers. And it took a long time. And I think what's important to realize is that I didn't realize that I was like, you know, harming myself, or like that I was doing these things because of what people had said to me. So up next, we're going to be talking about how we embraced our naturalness. So,
Yes.
do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
This is my favorite story because it's like the love of self. I started like around my senior year of high school, where I was just like, I started to just get braids because it was like, nobody could say nothing to me, because it's braids. And so I started getting braids, and then I like get to college, and I was like, I'm gonna keep doing this. I ain't putting up with it no more. So I started like doing a lot more braids. Like I would braid my hair all the time. That's when I had like first met you too.
Right.
And like I would always constantly have braids in to like grow it out. And then one day I took it out and I did like Bantu knots for the first time. Like my first protective styling was Bantu knots. I loved them. They were like little cute things. And and I did it, and I like picked it out because it was like spacious and stuff, because it was like kind of stringy, and the roots were like puffy, but then the ends were stringy. So this was before the big chop, and I just combed it out, and I just looked. They were like, "Girl, you look like you're from the civil rights movement out here," like, you know. And I was like, "I love this. It's so fluffy. Like I look like a little fluffy. I love it." And I was like, "Wow!" And then I straightened it. I straightened it because I wanted to see how long it got. That obsession, like the hair length and all that stuff. So I like straightened it, and then it was long, but it was so damaged. And so I went a couple weeks after that, after seeing that, and I got the big chop. And my hair was the shortest it's ever been. It was like here, and it was, I mean, like cut all of it off. My mother was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing to me?" Like,
well, how did you feel?
Nearly,
about it?
I felt so good. It was like the most liberated I've ever felt in my entire life. I got it cut off, and ever since then, I mean, the only time I get my hair straightened is like if I go to get a trim or something like that. But outside of that, I just loved on it. Like I would get braids here and there, but I would like miss my fro. Like now I miss my fro. I just like I want to just like, you know, take the braids out, and I just like. I like miss my fro. And so like for me that was like a lot of love, and like I started to, you know, I still battled a little bit at home, but it was like my parents were getting used to it too as well, you know. And then being around my peers, you know, it was like you and like, you know, and John, like and like that would like, you know, that kept telling me like, you have such beautiful hair, like get the fro out, girl, like and bring it out, and like learning about shrinkage and what products work and stuff. That was like the process of me loving myself. And so when we're doing our hair, sometimes as a part of self-care, I'll listen to like Solange.
Oh yeah.
You know, her new albums, I See That at the Table. And I would like listen to it, and I'd like be putting coconut oil and like all these treatments, and I'd be doing my little twists, and I'm like, I love it. Like that was like my embracing. And so like I think that's like the light for us is like being able to be surrounded by people who love, you know, on you, and that encourages you to love on yourself. So I was like,
that's amazing. I like that story too, guys.
So when did you start loving on you and embracing all y'all see this? Like all of this? I be loving it.
For me, I would say it was when I came to college, and I was surrounded by more people who looked like me and who were more into embracing their naturalness. And I remember, I think for the first like month or two of college, I was constantly straightening my hair. I think actually when I came to college, I had a weave in, like a sew-in in. Which is weird to think of because I just don't wear that. Like I don't do that now, you know? But I remember being told like, you know, you should wear your hair naturally. It's so beautiful. But by that time, I had straightened it so much that I lost my curls. So it wasn't what it is now, like what you all are seeing. So it was like thinned out, and I just wasn't happy with it. Like the texture was really off, you know. But I kind of continued to kind of, you know, straighten it there for a while because it didn't look right when it was natural, because it, you know, when it was curly. And it wasn't until I went to my hairstylist, and, you know, she just told me that, hey, you know, it's damaged, you need to chop it off. And so I chopped it off, like, all the way
Big
off.
chop.
It was like a huge bob, and it was so short. And I remember, like, when it was curly, it was like this small, and it was like the shortest my hair has ever been. And I remember just being so uncomfortable about it, like, you know. But I, like, stayed on top of it, and I asked, you know, my hairstylist, like, how do I get my hair to be natural, you know, like, healthy, you know, naturally healthy. And she told me that, you know, that I shouldn't be straightening it at home because we put so much pressure on our hair when we straighten it ourselves. And so that was about 3.5 years ago that I chopped off my hair. And I only straighten my hair maybe 3 or 4 times a year to get a trim or for, like, special occasions. And that's why I'm able to have the fro and the curly hair that I do. And now my hair, like, when it's straightened, it's, like, coming down to here. And I only know that when I go to get it trimmed. But, I mean, it's not, I think, as fun as your story. But, I mean, you know, I'm kind of proud of where I am now.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we're going to do the do's and don'ts.
All right. So don't touch our hair without our permission. That's number 1. Don't do it.
Don't. Just don't. You can give us compliments on our hair, though. Girl, look at them edges laid and never betrayed.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't ask if our hair is real. That's annoying. Don't do it.
Is it real?
Don't worry about it. It's not your business. You know?
You can educate yourself on the topic of hair.
Do not culturally appropriate.
Oh my God. Take off them dreads, white people. Please. You can disrupt any racist remarks regarding hair.
Don't give us negative comments thinking that they are compliments, because they're not.
You can empower us to appreciate and love our natural hair.
Refrain from giving us nicknames.
So, sister.
Don't like it. Don't.
Oh my God. You can pass this knowledge on down to the little ones because they are learning on how to create a better world, y'all.
Yes.
Amen.
All right. That's it for our do's and don'ts section.
In the wise words of Stephanie LaHart, Black girls,
don't be afraid to use your voice.
Your thoughts, opinions, and ideas are just as important as anybody else's.
When you speak, speak with boldness and purpose.
Have courage, be confident, and always be true to yourself. Live your life fearlessly.
Your voice has great power. Don't be afraid to utilize it when needed.
You're not an angry Black woman. You're a woman who has something important to say.
Your voice matters, and so do you.
And that's a wrap, folks.
Thank you for taking the time to watch our video on black hair.
Yep, and a special shout out to Shy Lee on the amazing music.
Yes.
Time for your mind one time, me. One time for your mind one time. One time for your mind one time, me. One time for your mind one time. One time for your mind one time, me. One time for your mind one time. There's been some shit going down that's got my mind jacked. Like when police killing blacks, yeah, fuck all that. But when blacks kill blacks, then y'all fall back. Yeah, I feel some type of way, my mama part of that step. Some of the same motherfuckers screaming Black Lives Matter be the same one taking black lives in street combat. We need change in the hood with y'all at. Nowhere to be found, now I'ma protest that. And ain't no need to get defensive, I'm just spitting the facts. The fact is, they telling me it's the police I should fear. But this my own kind doing most of the killing here. Was taught at a young age to keep my mind clear. Head on the swivel cause death is always near. Meaning I gotta be ready at any time in case a nigga decide to cross that line. Growing up my OG kept me confined to the house. I'm like, you don't trust me? Please tell me what this about. After a short pause, these words came out of mouth. I do trust you, but I ain't got a clue what these people around you gon' do. Can't be too careful after what I've been through. Now I stick to my lonely, they don't know my moves. They wanna know my move. I said that it's fuck you. Just cause we have convo, don't mean we cool. Cause if I ain't got friends, then I ain't got nothing to lose. And that's what life's taught me after what I've been through. One time for your mind, one time, me. One time for your mind, one time. One time for your mind, one time, me. One time for your mind, one time.